Hey everybody, it's Ad the Red and welcome back to Sunrider, Liberation Day, the Return chapter. Last we left off, Shields just had a startling discovery. He saw himself, and not in the mirror, and himself was holding Chigara. Yep, also Claude was in his bed, and that's the most terrifying part. But, there we go. Even though his first instinct was to barge into Chigara and his clone's little romantic rendezvous, gun in hand to demand answers, his military training kept him firmly hidden behind his bed, looking for an escape route. He racked his brain for a possible explanation of this bizarre turn of events. Could this be a pack plot? Did they embed a spy wearing a hollow mask to impersonate him? No, that would never work. First off, anyone boarding the ship was subjected to a full DNA scan. It could be the prototypes? That seemed a possibility, as they had a massive army of clones. Could they have acquired his DNA sample somewhere? Oh god, a prototype Shields, fuck. Scary thought. All it would take to breed a second K of Shields would be a strand of his hair left somewhere unwittingly by him. But it would still take a lifetime of training for a clone to successfully imitate him. And there was no way someone as intimate with him as Chigara would fall for a trick like that so easily. He had to calm his racing mind. For now, he had to escape detection or alert ship security, or something. He racked his brain for what the proper protocol for dealing with the doppelganger the ship's captain was, but for some reason he couldn't remember being taught anything about it during his training at the Space Force Academy. Perhaps he'd slept through that one. Oh yeah, definitely, that's why. Of course, the ship's design left open a number of secret escape routes he could use to leave his room. A warship was an inherently dangerous locality, and so a large number of concealed passageways crisscrossed the ship so that the crew would not be stranded in the event the ship lost structural integrity. Makes sense. Shields slowly opened his closet and tore off the carpeting below, exposing an access gate to a tunnel leading to Deck Zero. To his relief, the gate still accepted his commands after he swiped the ID chip located on his sleeve on the security scanner. He opened the gate and motioned for Claude to follow him. After climbing down the tunnel, the pair dropped down from the ceiling onto the floor of the hallway. Shields immediately returned to Claude and interrogated her for answers. Yeah, I'm sure she'd like that. It seems like you have a better idea than I do, but just what in the hell's name is going on here? I want answers, Doctor. Well, this is a surprise. You really don't remember anything? I can remember everything just fine. I'm Captain Kato Shields of the assault carrier Sunrider. We arrived at Sarah yesterday to take part in the critical operation to liberate our homeworld from packed loyalist forces in conjunction with the Alliance Combined Fleet. But can you remember what happened after that? Beer. That happened. After we arrived at Sarah, I spoke with the rider team in the mess hall. Then I returned to my office to do some paperwork, and the next thing I knew, I was invited to you. So you have no memory of what happened after the operation? What the hell are you even talking about? How do I know what happened after? The operation hasn't even begun yet. It appears you're suffering some memory loss thanks to your first temporal translocation. But don't worry, in just a few hours all your memories of what happened will return. Shields' brain spun at a disturbingly high frequency of what Claude was implying. Temporal translocation? Memory loss? He had known Claude was a ditz, but this was on an entirely different level from your usual antics. There was no question something out of the galaxy was happening, though. He had just witnessed his body double flirting with Chigara as if it was the most casual thing in the world. I just noticed her tongue is a heart. Her heart is a tongue. Yeah. He closed his eyes and tried his best to remember just how he had got there. Here. Oh, dear fuck. Those images again. Bloody flashes of horror flashed in his head. He had no idea where they took place or when, but he knew Chigara was somehow involved. Those aren't just images. They're my memories, aren't they? Did you remember something, Captain? Massacre. Everything we worked for. Destroyed. Horror. Knowing that much, I guess I can fill you in about the rest. 3 days from now, a disaster will occur at Sarah, which will thrust humanity to a warp so devastating it will make the neutral room more like a mere playground scuffle in comparison. I'm sure you already have a premonition, but Chigara will be the catalyst who will spark that disaster. I brought you here to rewrite the past to prevent that disaster from occurring. Once again, Shields had received another bombshell revelation. What was Claude even saying? Bring him back to rewrite the past? Something that was impossible. Suddenly, more memories played back in his head. You're telling me Claude is a time traveler? No, far more than that. If such an entity could be given a name, then the closest description ever would be Claude is God. Claude is God. Ba-da-ba. Shields rubbed his spinning head and fought back the mounting nausea. While his understanding of what had or will happen was still foggy, like trying to recall a dream he had seen months ago, or in some cases just the night before, Claude's seemingly impossible explanation seemed validated by what fragmentary memories he still retained. Okay then, we alert ship security and then detain Chigara. Problem solved, right? Yeah, except for the fact that you have a fucking doppelganger now. Actually, Captain... He shook his head at his own naivete. Of course, resolving this wasn't going to be that simple. For all intents and purposes, the Kato Shield's hitting on Chigara in his office right now was the captain that everyone accepted in his timeline. If he just revealed himself now, he would be the one to get detained and questioned. And given his doppelganger's infatuation with the chief, he doubted that convincing him that she was a spy would be so easily, especially from inside a brig cell. The fact that he had less than 72 hours to stop the massacre meant he couldn't afford to risk getting confined in the brig for the duration of this coming battle. He had to take a more covert approach. No. The proper protocol in such a situation would be to confine the captain's doppelganger in the brig for further questioning, which, to everyone in this timeline, would be me. We can't afford to blow our cover. We'll have to approach this differently. We recruit one person to help us, someone we can trust. And the three of us work from the shadows to prevent the disaster from occurring. Ooh, I see. Understood, Captain. And then who shall we recruit to our cause? He gave that question a long thought. That person will have to be, I don't need a long thought at all, Ikari. When I think of covert operations, the first person who comes to my mind is Ikari. Not only that, but she's the ship's chief of security. Exactly the kind of expertise you'll need in a situation like this. We're going to recruit Ikari. We'll need a technical know-how to figure out how to stop the massacre. Okay, Captain. Come on. She's probably in the mess hall right now. T-minus 63 hours to the Liberation Day massacre. 27 hours until Chigara enters the mine stream. Ooh. Oh, hello, ladies. Sure enough, Shields found Ikari chatting with Kriska in the mess hall as soon as he entered. Well, no fucking shit. It's like they're magnetically pulled together now. Opposites attracting it all. Lieutenant too, huh? He pondered whether to bring Kriska into their plot as well. You're gonna fucking have to. They're stuck together. We're trying to prevent the assassination of Alliance military leaders, so Kriska would be more than eager to help out. But on the flip side, I can't risk the Lieutenant leaking word of this plot to Alliance Command either. Yeah, that's a good. That's also a good point. She's very her torn allegiances here would get off me. Her torn allegiances here would actually pose an interesting conflict of interest for us. And I'm redundating words. That's not even a word itself. That'll be the first thing a dutiful soldier like her would do. And that'll cause complications for me, since they'll then expect to coordinate a counterintelligence operation to thwart the assassination with the real Kato Shields, actually blowing my cover. For a moment, Shields weighed whether he should bring the Alliance into their effort to stop the massacre, but ultimately decided against it. Yes. No. The Alliance won't be able to move fast enough. And once the truth comes out that I'm not the real Kato Shields, I'll be finished. I'll have to stake my chances in a small covert op. Looks like it'll have to be Ikari. Alright. Shields casually walked over to the pair. Well, chatting together again so soon? Put a flub words. What's your problem, Cap? Soldier boy here was just telling me some stories. Got any interesting ones yourself? He leaned in close to Ikari and whispered into her ear. I'm not technically the real Kato now. Sorry to cut your date short, but I need your help. The date? It's not like I... Okay. Lieutenant, I must speak to my chief of security about a private matter. Sorry for interrupting your discussion. Not at all, sir. Kriska, being the perfect soldier she was, stood upright without hesitation and walked out of the mess hall. Captain, talk to you later, mercenary. Oh, what was that about? Something going on? Shields took a seat next to Ikari and leaned into her ear so they could speak in whispers. We've got a problem. It threatens the security of the ship. No, more like the security of the entire galaxy. The Doc and I have discovered our chief engineer is a prototype. Oi! Are you for real? I thought those tests came back negative. Sorry, that was just a lie we made to make the prototypes think they still got us fooled. In reality, Chigara's spy has been programmed to assassinate every Alliance military leader gathered at the victory celebration if we successfully liberate Sarah. Kinda like the prototype's insurance policy. We've got 3 days to stop her before it's too late. Holy damn. Are you alright? I know you were going through some tough times, right? And Chigara was always the one rooting you on. For her to turn out like that, damn. You must be wrecked. Don't worry about me. Alright, just hang in there, Captain. We'll get through this together. I appreciate the optimism and the back patting for what it's worth. I can't believe her first concern after hearing that is me. I guess Akari's really an old softie after all. Just don't say that to her. If she didn't get in her own head and start blabbing about it, then don't give her reason to. Even if it is adorable. In about 20 hours, Chigara will enter the prototype's mind stream during the Battle of Sarah. While Chigara is inside the mind stream, the prototype's leader will embed her own consciousness inside Chigara, and then assume control of Chigara in order to carry out the mass assassination. We have to detain Chigara before that, so that she never enters the mind stream. Okay, this isn't making any sense here. How do you even know all this? You're pretty much talking to me as if you've seen the future or something. Come on, there's something you're not telling me, isn't there? As expected of Akari, it looks like her experience as a mercenary wasn't for nothing. Alright, you're gonna have a tough time believing me. But I really am from the future. Everything I've just laid out I've experienced firsthand. Chigara will really enter the mind stream in about 20 hours, and she will be mind controlled by the leader of the prototypes. And she really will assassinate the Alliance's top military leaders. Yeah. Oh man. You really had me going there, Captain. You almost convinced me that poor Chigara really was a backstabber. Really was gonna backstab us all. Jeez. I even felt sorry for you and all. Yukari's grin slowly drained from her face when she saw the light fade from Shield's eyes. Oh. Holy shit. I love how she just sit there smiling the whole fucking time, just enjoying every goddamn second of this. Yukari sat wordless at the full gravity of the situation now crushing down her chest. You really are serious. You, gonna explain to me just how you traveled back in time to tell me all this? That's even harder to believe, really. I mean, yeah. Okay. Shields pointed to claws sitting across on the table. She waved back. Teehee. Ikari grinned by his shoulders and stared into his face. Are you serious? He nodded, gravely. I always knew Boob Rock was so suspicious, but I never would have imagined she was a time traveler. Oh man, suddenly I'm getting the feeling this is all just a weird dream and I'm about to wake up. Wouldn't that be a thing? I don't suppose you know Boob Rock has been traveling through time. You'd have to ask her, because I'm not aware of the details myself. Okay. Ikari drew a deep breath of air. Alright, Captain. I'm in. Atta girl. It's been a while since I've got a job this crazy, but oh, don't worry, I've seen some pretty insane shit, so I'm not gonna back out now. I'm your girl for this, Captain. That's the idea. Ikari held out her hand. Shields took it. A pleasure hiring you, Miss Easy Dold. I'm afraid I'm a man of modest means, though. Be gentle on this man's life savings. Captain, for you, I'll do this one pro bono. Now come on, let's go nab our chief. And thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next episode.